We've caught up with Paige Coughlin, daughter of Troy Coughlin. She's here making her No Prep Kings debut at her home track, Columbus, Ohio, National Trail Raceway. Paige, tell me about this car, about your move into heads-up racing. You've done some bracket racing, some sportsman racing. Tell us about that.
Well, I come from a bracket racing and super comp background. That's just where I grew up. That's what my dad did, my brother did. So when we decided to build this car, we're like, well, why don't we go check out the no prep racing scene? And we instantly fell in love with it. I know my dad came out here, I believe, 2 years ago, and he saw how packed this place was. And this is our home track. We grew up here, and he was like, this is amazing to see how many people have come here to watch this event. This is something we want to be a part of, so we're super excited to bring this 92 Camaro out and race in the future class.
Now, I know Mikey Reese was the original owner of this car, and he had a really good relationship and worked with your dad on his pro mod team. How did that make all of this come about?
Oh my gosh, well, he's like an older brother to me. All my guys are. Justin Bieber, Mike Reese, I mean, they are so amazing. And it came about, it started off in a garage at Mike's house, and that's where we built the car, and the relationship was there, the car was there, and we made it work, and we're like, man, this is going to be super cool. This car is badass, and I'm obsessed with the 92 Camaro, so I'm excited.
So tell us a little bit about this car, engine, transmission, tell us what you know.
Well, it's a Proline Pro-Charged Hemi, it's a 565, and I can't give away all my secrets.
Understood. Have you gotten to make some runs on it yet?
Yes, we've tested a few times and all across country, so I'm super excited. I think we're ready. This car is fast. We're ready to make some laps today.
Now, with your family's background in NHRA, there are a lot of places you could have jumped into heads-up racing. Your brother's done Top Fuel, Top Alcohol Dragster, Pro Mod, a lot of places. Why No Prep Kings?
This kind of drew me in. When I went to an event myself, I'm like, man, this is so cool. Like, look at all these people. They're so excited to come watch these races, and that's something I want to be a part of. You know, my dad was in pro modified for many, many years, and I wanted to be just like him. And when he said how cool this stuff was, I'm like, man, this is something we could do together, father-daughter deal, and I think this is perfect for us. We're super excited to be here.
Now, what is the plan going forward? Are you hoping to make several of the races this year, the full season?
We plan to race every race we can go to. I mean, if that's the full season, then that's the full season. And we're starting off in the Futures this weekend, and we're happy to be here. We'll race in anything. They tell us where to go, we'll be there. So,
is your hope to get the attention of some of these teams that did their selections last night?
Oh, of
course. And get the call up, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, it would be super cool to be a part of the Invitational. I mean, all those drivers are crazy talented, and man, I got some making up to do, that's for sure. But, you know, whenever the time's ready, so yeah. I'll be good to go.
Now, your father, he's seen your brother jump into ever faster race cars. He's done the same himself. What does he think about his daughter jumping in this car?
Oh my gosh, you know, when I made my first lap in this car, and I got out, and my hair's all disheveled, and I'm sweating, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. He's riding up on the scooter, gives me one big hug, and I'm like, man, this is deja vu, but roles reversed. Usually I'm the one riding up on the scooter after he climbs out of his Pro Mod, giving him the big hug, and so it was just such a crazy feeling. And I'm like, I think the bond that we share is undescribable. I mean, it's hard to put words to it. We're super close, and I'm super excited to be able to share this with my dad, and I'll let him tow it up there for me every now and then, and he gets to warm it up too, and it just makes me so happy. He used to drive this car back in the day, so it's very, very near and dear to our hearts.
Where did the Golden Child come from?
So, the Golden Child name comes from the original paint color of this car. It was like this beautiful candy apple gold color. I mean, impossible to match. And I just instantly fell in love with it. So I decided to tie it into the name because we couldn't keep the paint color. But I had to tie it in somehow because it was just absolutely gorgeous. But we ended up adding some gold striping to the side of the car to really mimic an IROC Z28. And I think it looks badass. I'm super excited about it.
Would your family say you're the Golden Child?
Oh, they all know I'm the Golden Child. My other siblings might be biased. Love them all dearly, but you know what? I call myself the Golden Child.
What is one thing people would not know about you?
That is a good question. You know, I actually grew up doing the other form of horsepower. I grew up riding horses. I started when I was about 6 or 7 years old, and I competed across country. I lived in Florida for a couple months out of the year to ride horses. That was my deal until my dad, when I was about 14 years old, I think, was like, hey, why don't you come over to this side of the horsepower world and try out a junior dragster? And I did it, and I never looked back. Never looked back.
When did you start junior drag racing?
Oh gosh, I competitively started when I was 14. Started right here at National Trail Raceway, and just ran their point series. But as I got a little bit older, I wanted to travel with the guys in the Pro Mod team. I mean, that was where my heart was. I loved doing it. I did all the GoPros. I was really a part of the team. So that we dabbled in it for a couple of years before I built my dragster when I was 17 years old. Was when I really competitively started racing the McElvain dragster.
Okay. So was there a time where you didn't think you'd drag race at all? Were you into the horse side of things?
When I was younger, yeah. I mean, I grew up around the racetrack. I mean, I feel like I was born here. And for all those years, I stuck to the other form of horsepower. And when I was old enough, my dad's like, come on and come over and try this. I mean, you're old enough. We think you're ready. Let's just go try it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But just come try it. Don't knock it till you try it, is what he always tells me. So
yeah,
never looked back.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time. Good luck this weekend. Good luck this season. Can't wait to see this thing on the racetrack.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're super excited to be here.